I need a break, guys. I need a break between the protesting that's happening and trying to contact and find all these local politicians. I am wiped out, and I can only imagine how you're feeling right now too. So I need to get back to my happy place. I need to get back to a time in my mind where it was just happiness, sunshine, and gumdrops the whole way through. And the best way that I know how to do that is to watch amazing movies that I love. And so this week, I'm making a point to do a positive video that ranks my top 5 Black movies of all time. Now, just to kind of give you a heads up, my list may be a tad bit unconventional, and I like it that way. I love an unconventional ranking. So, some of these may sound familiar to you. I think all of these should sound familiar to you, but I'm not gonna judge. In case these videos are actually unfamiliar to you, I'm gonna try my best to keep the spoilers to a minimum, but I'm pretty sure that won't be a problem. The point is, pick one of these movies, give it a try to get to a happy place in your mind. Rest, recharge, rejuvenate, and then get back to work tomorrow. So without further ado, here's my ranking of the top 5 best Black movies of all time. Number 5, The Wiz. I love this retelling of The Wizard of Oz. The cast of celebrities and singers are incredible. Now, this movie is from the 70s, so it doesn't look sexy, but don't be too hard on it. A budget is a budget. But I have zero complaints. Well, except for when the Munchkins started climbing out of the playground graffiti. I'm pretty sure that gave me nightmares as a child for a few days, but I digress. Anyway, the main aspects of The Wizard of Oz are all there, including Dorothy, Toto, the Lion, Tin Man, and the Scarecrow, played by Michael Jackson. Is it just me, or does You Can't Win seem a bit too connected to 2020? The choreography is great though, and I'm def a sucker for a good dance number. So the Emerald City scene and the final dance number are A-okay in my book. Give this a watch if you're looking for a bit of a healthy nostalgia and a reminder of the importance of family and friends, if I do say so myself. Number 4, Breakin 2, Electric Boogaloo. Okay, this movie is quintessential 80s. I'm talking crop top, jerry curl, one earring, and a leather jacket. That's the fashion statement here. Poppin' is life, and literally everyone is dancing in the street. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure I replayed Turbo's Dancing on the Ceiling over and over again until the VHS tape popped. This movie still gives me so much joy. You just can't beat a good old-fashioned story about a crew of friends trying to save their community center from corrupt politicians through dance. And BTW, that final dance scene was fire. Number 3, Blankman. For this classic, we step out of the 80s and into the 90s to meet one of my favorite superheroes. I just love how Daryl is this geeky tech genius that decides to use his brain and gadgets to solve the murder of his grandma. Along the way, he fights crime.
Slapped me around and called me Susan.
In his own unique way. But he becomes a beloved superhero of his community. And his brother Kevin, who also tries his best to keep him from getting shot in the head. This movie, in all of its hilarity, reminds us that everyday people can be superheroes. Next up, number 2, I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. A Wayans classic, including basically all 1 million of them, plus their sister. If this movie does not have you laughing from start to finish, then I don't really know what to do with you. As a blaxploitation of blaxploitation, this movie is purposefully over the top. But it satirically addresses major issues in the Black community that we unfortunately are still facing today. R.I.P. Kung Fu Joe. In this movie, you follow Jack Spade and his crew as he attempts to avenge his brother's death at the hands of Mr. Big, aka The Man. Honestly, the Wayans were obviously hilarious. But the rest of the characters had me in tears too. And finally, number 1, The Last Dragon. Bruce Leroy. Bruce Leroy. Listen, again, the 80s win. They just win, hands down. Before you spark joy, you reach the final level and you receive the glow. I'm beginning to see a pattern here. I think I'm just obsessed with great music and choreo. But who isn't? And I include fighting choreography in that too. Plus, nothing compares to seeing a bunch of little kids show up to save the day and kick some ass to an amazing 80s soundtrack. The journey now before you is the final test. All right, now I know I said I was going to do a ranking of my top 5, but it just felt so incomplete. One is missing, and it deserves an honorable mention. Coming to America. Now, this movie is so mainstream, you can get a Hakeem Funko Pop at Newberry Comics. I should know. But that doesn't make this movie any less of a classic cornerstone in black comedy. I mean, have you truly lived if you've never heard, "Just let your soul glow, just let it shine through"? For many of us, Zamunda was Wakanda before Wakanda. Some might say that Coming to America is in fact the #1 black comedy movie of all time. And guys, I'd find it difficult to disagree with that, to be perfectly honest. So, there you have it, my top 5 ranking. If you agree with my ranking, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you disagree with my ranking, still give me a thumbs up and subscribe. All these movies are amazing. You have no excuse. But definitely feel free to pick one of them, to rewatch it, get back to your happy place. We could all use a bit of laughter, a reminder that good will always conquer evil, and a dose of black brilliance. Then, once you're done, once you've fully recharged, take a break from social media. It is toxic right now. And instead, call your local officials and remind them that we're looking for a path to justice. Remind them that we are calling for an end to police brutality and police violence and calling for more police accountability. And if you're looking to get more involved, look in the description box for a link and more information. Remember, Black lives still matter. Stay safe, drink some water, and I'll see you later. All right, I'm done.
I almost went.
You should have. That would have been hilarious.